let's say you take a setup and you only have a slight cushion or slightly in the red by the end of the day. Do you keep the position close? That's actually a great question because I've done both. And I've done both recently. And let me tell you, I did it on Soxal and on Amazon, and I'm an idiot. Okay, so let me give you two examples where I kept it overnight and it continued to work. And I'll also tell you why I kept it overnight. So I bought on the same day Tesla, right, as it was going through the 200. That same day I bought Toast on the earnings gap up, 40.81, and it closed completely flat on me, but I kept it because it was an earnings gap up. And then TMDX, right, and I bought it the very next day? No, it was the very same day, and I held it, but I had low of day stops on them, and they were earnings gap up, so I held them, and they've gone on to work from there. Okay, great. Let me give you two examples where I totally effed up. I had this SOXL because I was like, okay, I don't love any of the semis here, but I think that if the market's going to power higher, it's going to do so behind the backs of NVIDIA, AVGO, MU, Marvell, ALAB, CRDO, etc. So instead of buying an individual semiconductor and kind of trying to pick and choose which one would be the better performer, I just bought Soxel. Well, I literally bought 1376 and this thing squirted higher. And I was like, oh, cool, I'm up 50 cents a share, and then closed right at my average. Well, my stop was low of day, but I was just like, I was like, I'll cut it. I'll reevaluate tomorrow. The very next day, it goes totally sideways on me. And I was just like, well, it held what was my average, but, it's not that it's not really doing much. Well, over the weekend, you get the news, and you guys know the rest. I'm feeling like a total idiot. Right? I had a 1376 average, and this thing goes yesterday to $19 in a few days. So here's another example. Amazon. I like this little flat base. Very, very similar to what NVIDIA had, and we were over the 50 simple moving average. I bought $193. Almost looks just like Soxel. Why? Because the market is highly correlated. So I bought this 193 with my stop at low of day, $4 stop on Amazon. No big deal. Size right. No problem. Closes week. I'm slightly in the red. Right? The very next day, what does it do? Nothing. And I'm over here like, well, I'm glad I got rid of it. No big deal. Then you get the news over the weekend, and this thing's gapping up, and now it's at 208, and I had a 193. All right, so it's like I'd be up $15 a share and probably would have trimmed some off into this 110 level, 112. Right, so moral of the story is size right, respect your stop. You have to know what your loss is before you get in, and normally your loss should be to low of day or prior low of day. Two examples went on to work, and part of the reason that I just held TMDX and Toast is because they were earnings gappers on positive reactions, right? Soxal and Amazon were kind of just like breakthrough key pivots, at least pivots that I thought were pivots. And then, in two examples, I violated my sell rule, which was low of day. And in two examples, I didn't violate my sell rule. When I didn't violate my sell rule, I was rewarded. And when I did, I was slapped in the face and called an idiot, right, by Mr. Market. So, really the rule there should be follow your rules all the time. When you get in, you should have a premeditated possible loss. And I didn't. I paid the price. Or I did, but I violated my sell rule, and I paid the price on watching Soxal go up 40% without me, on watching Amazon be up 20 points without me. Massive gap up overnight. For Amazon, this is huge. Back up over the 200. I'd be in the complete driver's seat right now. Instead, I'm on the outside looking in.